application webinar. To kick off the webinar, we would like to welcome our existing clients who have tuned in, but also to those of you who are new. We'd like this to be an interactive session, so if you have any questions throughout the webinar, please feel free to drop them in the comment section. So for those of you who don't know me, my name is Lauren van Rooyen. I am the marketing coordinator for Trotec Laser South Africa, and today we're going to be taking you through some ideas for home office applications. Now, I'm sure, as all of you know by now, we're currently knee-deep in a global pandemic. If you don't, well, then that's really awkward. But due to the pandemic and the current infection peak in South Africa, a lot of businesses have encouraged their staff to work from home. But let's face it, not all of us have the most ideal home office setup. So that's why we're here today. We're going to be showing you various ideas for applications that you as a business can make with your laser, offering your clients. We're also going to be running a live demonstration on one of our machines during the course of this webinar. And for that section, I am going to be handing over to none other than our senior technician, Peter Kleinans.
Hi everyone. Today we're going to do, as Lauren mentioned, a live demonstration of one of the applications of home office expansion. And one of the products. The product that we're going to use is the Trotec Move veneer. And we're going to do it on this PD300 Flex. Now the Flex is a fiber and CO2 machine. We're mostly going to use the CO2 machine for the CO2 section of the machine for this exercise. I'm going to utilize a 1.5 inch lens for nice and detailed engraving and cutting. And yeah, let's see how it goes. I'm going to move over to the software. Once the engraving is done, we will be able to do the cutting, and then we'll show you the finished product. Now, specifically on wood, I tend to use a 70% black instead of a solid black. Main reason for this is to get a better contrast on the wood, but rather not get the depth using the laser power. We also tend to test our cut settings beforehand, so you will notice once we take this out, you'll notice a few little circles on the one side of the wood. This we do to just test our cutting setting and make sure that that's optimum for the wood itself. Lauren will show you some of the applications that we've got on the side over here. While the machine is busy, once done, we will show you what's inside the machine. Thanks, Lauren.
Cool, awesome. Thank you, Peter. I'm sure you guys got quite a realistic idea of how quick and easy it is to change your product offering literally with just the click of a button. So we've had quite a lot of clients who are known as stamp makers and things like that. And throughout this pandemic, they've been able to adjust their product offering, as I said, literally with a click of a button. So we're going to move over to some of the applications that we've already prepared. These are obviously just some ideas that we've put together for you guys, but we'd really like to encourage you to make them your own and to create your own little ideas to personalize them for your customers. So we're going to start off with our little business card holders that we've made. So this is using Trotec pastel in a pastel pink color, obviously for the ladies. And what we've done is literally just created a little interlocking system over here, clip them into each other, and Bob's your uncle. So obviously it depends on what type of finish your client wants. If they're looking for something more refined and sophisticated, we would suggest using something like an acrylic. But if you're looking for something a bit more rustic, that has a bit more of a vintage appeal to it, you can obviously do the same application in wood as well. Also just using an interlocking system to clip it all together. Next up, we have a little post-it section or post-it note box holder that you can create. This can also be used to hold coasters, if you think about it. So you could always make coasters that slot into this. But for this application, we have made it into a post-it note holder. And as I mentioned before, you can really make this out of any of the materials that are strong enough to stand up straight. So we've also used the interlocking system here. If you find that it's not really locking in as well as what it should, you can always use an acrylic glue, which we have now started offering as well, or else just a normal super glue as well, and Bob's your uncle. It will stay together. So from the artwork that Peter had just now, this is one of the cell phone stands that we're obviously running on the machine. We've done it out of a really awesome bright fluorescent glass. And one of the things, I know Peter's favorite thing about this product is that when you engrave it, it almost like illuminates or like lights up if you have a look at it. So we've done the Trotec logo over there. And yeah, so you could do any business logos. You could put a person's name in there if you really wanted to, that type of thing. We really enjoyed making this because it's got a little slot for your keys. You could put a watch over there, cell phone stand, even has a little gap for your charger and your sunglasses or reading glasses, whatever you have. So quite a lot of options. And remember, you can always, if you really wanted to, engrave the entire backing of this with a type of pattern or something like that, just to give it that little bit of extra finesse. So this is one of my favorites, actually. So this is a little pen holder that we've created as well, using a 3mm veneer. Sorry, not a veneer. This is our plywood that we've used. And it's quite cool because it's got a little sliding calendar in it. So this can be used for pens, can obviously be used for highlighters, all that type of jazz. And once again, we've just used the interlocking system, a little bit of super glue, and just like that. Oh, and also a combination of mixed mediums. So we've used 2 different color woods over here, which give it quite a nice contrasting effect as well. Also remember that your engraving will give you different effects too. So if you wanted to have a really dark engraving, you're going to change the settings on your laser. If you wanted to have a slightly lighter engraving, you'll adjust it accordingly as well. So over here, we have done the exact same little desk calendar / pen holder type of thing, but we've done it out of Peter's favorite fluorescent acrylic again. So it really does give a pop of color to any application that you're doing. Always bear in mind that with acrylic glues, you really want to try and be as neat as possible when you are busy mounting the piece together, things like that. And obviously you can create this using different types of acrylics as well, or different colors. So if you wanted this to be a different color or different backings, that type of thing is always available for you as well. So this is one of my real honest, my favorites. Is a little note board that you can put above your keyboard when you're busy working at your desk or your computer or something like that. So this will pop up on top of your keyboard, and it's got a little slot for your pens over there. Oops. Got a little slot for your pens over there. And obviously because it's acrylic, you can just write away on it. So I'm going to say, I love Trotec. Oh, and our machine is done. Okay. So that is the little keyboard holder that we have as well. Then something else that we've created recently that was quite a nice experiment was using, as I've mentioned before, mixed mediums. So what we've got over here is a laptop stand. So I don't know if you guys have the same issue, but often you put your laptop up on the screen, but the keyboard's not always the right height. So if you have a laptop, you can always pop it up onto this screen, or the stand rather, and then use your keyboard from there. But check out how we've created this one. So we've got our baseboard using 6mm APF. So that is going to be where the laptop stands. We have then created this little light up effect over here. I'm not sure if you guys can see that properly. So the way that we've done this is using 2 layers of Troglass black acrylic, 3mm. We've then put a layer of Troglass clear. For those of you that don't know, Troglass is our equivalent to Perspex. We've then engraved the Troglass clear, mounted them on top of each other so it has like a 3D effect. We then took Trolle's foils, placed an LED strip along the top, put down the Trolle's foils, which comes with a standard adhesive, and there you go, created a nice little luminescent centerpiece for the laptop stand. But of course, we wanted to take it one step further. So we then did a mounting board for the LED piece. You won't really be able to see it now, but by engraving the wood that goes behind the acrylic, it really gives you a bit of a 3D effect. So it's quite a nice little feature as well. And the stand itself works like this. So we have little interlocking arms over here. We're going to pop in our baseboard. Pop on the top little LED section. That you can always use a double-sided tape to adhere together along the edges so that it doesn't show through the clear Perspex. Or else you can use one of the glues that we mentioned previously. And then the last section, this little guy just pops on top. More or less. Okay, pretty much the idea. You guys get the gist of it. But yeah, so that's quite a nice idea of creating an awesome effect with mixed media. So your laptop would sit up here. If you really wanted to make it more of a decorative piece, you could always remove this while your laptop is not there and sort of have like a bit of a showpiece in your office as well. Alrighty. So, I'm sure as you heard earlier, there was a bit of a beep. That is our machine's way of notifying you that the job has now been completed. So we'll open up the laser. Take out the sheet of excess material. There's one part of the stand, other part. So there's a bit of dust from the engraving. All that we're going to do is take a slightly damp cloth and wipe it off. Pop the two pieces in together. And there you have it. There is your cell phone stamp. And that was super quick, super easy. If you guys would like the artwork, please just give us a shout, pop us an email, and we will gladly send it to you as well. Also remember that when you're working with woods, it is a natural material, so it is not something that is consistent, just as how trees and flowers grow differently, so do natural materials that you're going to be engraving. So sometimes it might be necessary to do 1 or 2 passes of the engraving to get the effect that you want. Awesome, guys. So that concludes our webinar for the day. I'd like to keep it short, especially on a Friday. We know that you guys have got a lot to get back to in terms of your work. If you enjoyed this session, we'd really like you just to give us a thumbs up in the comment section or on Facebook, wherever you're watching us, so that we know if we should do this again, because we'd really like to show you some other office applications in a part 2 of this webinar. So thanks so much for joining us, and we'll see you soon. Bye.